Good afternoon, everybody. So it looks like we are here on the property at 93 McMillan. We're now live streaming as well as uh recorded. Let me check everybody in first. I see I have Wes Munzo from the planning department.
Hi,
Um, under Jonathan, is it Woker?
Woker, that's correct.
Okay. Who do I have here?
So Jonathan Woker, I'm the applicant, and I have Tom Urbeck, who's the property owner.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what was your name, sir?
Tom Urbeck,
How do I spell your last name?
Erbeck.
R-C-K, gotcha. And you're the property owner.
Yes,
All right. Are we expecting anybody else to be present today?
No, not from our team.
All right. Well, given that it's almost 1:05, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Let me do a brief introduction. It's like a script. It's for your benefit as well as mine. So this is the June 4th session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Ashton Tucker. I am serving as your hearing examiner for the city of Cincinnati today. I will be presiding over this hearing. The case set before us is case number ZH20250043. Property is 93 West McMillan. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. This hearing will proceed as follows. It will start with the applicant or the applicant's agent to present whatever is the applicant's case. Then the public would have an opportunity to speak. It does not appear that we have any members of the public present today. Next, I would have the planning folks tell me tell me about the staff report that was produced and anything regarding the application that they would like me to know. That being said, in the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or give argument in opposition. After the applicant has been given an opportunity to do that, anybody else will have an opportunity to make, or will all have an opportunity to make closing statements. But most importantly, the applicant will have the opportunity to make the final statement. You will have the last word. After all presentations have been made, I'll go ahead and close this hearing. Your decision can be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. My first thought would be that I'm going to try to troubleshoot it to the best of my ability. In the event that that's impossible, I will just continue this and move us to another date when hopefully the technology decides to cooperate. Anybody who intends to give testimony today, if you could raise your right hand, make sure you're unmuted, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Yes,
All right. We'll start from the applicant side. Mr. Woker, what would you like me to know about this situation?
Yes, so thank you for your time. I'm Jonathan Woker. I'm a planner with McBride Dale Clarion representing the applicant on this request. The owner is MCM 103 LLC, and that's owned by Mr. Tom Urbeck. We are asking for approval of special exceptions to allow an expansion of existing parking lot at 93 West McMillan Street. There are currently 2 buildings, some vacant land and an existing parking lot, as well as 2 driveways on the property. Ms. Tucker, would it be acceptable for me to share my screen and display some information?
Yes, please.
Okay. Try and do that. Are you able to see that?
It hasn't come up. Oh, there it is. Yep, I see it.
So this is an aerial actually from the staff report by Mr. Munzel that shows the subject property. West McMillan is on the top of this page, which is actually north. The property is outlined in the red boundary. And so as I mentioned, there's an existing parking lot on the east side. There's some vacant land in what I'll call the middle, and then there's two existing buildings. There's currently two driveways on this property as well. And what we are requesting approval for is to do an expansion of the parking lot for this property. This plan shows the existing parking area and the two buildings. And I'm going to scroll down. This is a zoom in of the actual proposed parking lot. What we are proposing to do is to build 23 parking spaces. That would be an expansion over the existing parking field that's generally in this portion to the east. The plan will have one-way circulation, so we will have an entrance drive here, a general circulation pattern here, and then an exit on McMillan. Again, there's two existing parking spaces there. I'm sorry, two existing driveways there today. This plan will have a buffer along the west side that meets the zoning requirements. We will have a 6-foot tall vinyl opaque fence along the south property line. This will be located on the top of a existing retaining wall. That retaining wall is approximately 17 feet tall above the properties to the south, which is Lion Street. So the properties behind us are lower and our subject property is higher. So we are proposing to install a 6-foot fence along the southern property line. And then we will also have a 4-foot fence along the eastern property line adjacent to our neighbor, which is a multifamily building. The fence will be next to the existing parking area for that multifamily apartment building. So we are asking for 3 exceptions, special exceptions. And if you'll bear with me, I'll go through those. The first is to section 1423-13B, and that would be to allow a 1-foot buffer and no landscaping to the south. As I mentioned previously, there will be a 17-foot retaining wall and then a 6-foot tall opaque fence. We believe that that buffer meets the intent of the zoning resolution. I will point out that there was a zoning hearing examiner decision in 2024 associated with the proposed Adriatico's Beer Garden restaurant. That approval is still in effect. However, we've uncovered some soil conditions that are affecting the building design and foundations. And so we are asking for approval to do the parking lot as proposed, which will allow us to provide additional parking while we continue to evaluate the soil conditions and foundations for the restaurant that was previously approved. That means that this parking lot will be in place, and if we need modifications in the future, we will pursue those based on our plans. So again, the first special exception would be for a 1-foot buffer with no landscaping to the south. The second special exception is to section 1425-29A1. That would be to allow a reduction in the 5-foot landscape requirement along West McMillan. We are proposing to have 2 landscape areas that will be 4 feet 8 inches in width adjacent to the street, and then 1 area that will have 0 landscaping. So the 0 landscape area is next to our handicap accessible parking space, and then the 2 landscape areas here and here are 4 feet 8 inches, so just slightly less than the 5 feet required. So we're asking for a special exception to reduce that landscape strip requirement. And then thirdly, also related to section 1425-29A1 would be approval to reduce the buffer to the east from a 3-foot requirement to a 1-foot requirement. Excuse me. And in that buffer, we will have a 4-foot opaque fence to provide buffering. Again, our neighbor has existing surface parking next to us, and we believe that the fence is an appropriate buffer here. So those are the 3 special exceptions that we are requesting. We believe in general that we're improving the conditions from the current situation. If you've had a chance to visit the site, work on the retaining wall is currently underway. So you can see that the site is generally in a construction phase now, and we would like to continue that and install the parking once we have the approvals from the city. We have provided written responses to both the specific standards for the special exceptions in section 144519, as well as the general standards for the public interest items A through P in section 144513. I don't intend to go through all those. Those are in our application, and I can respond to those if you want me to go into more details. But we believe that the special exception satisfies those standards and that we will not have an adverse impact on the surrounding property as a result of the approval. And lastly, we do agree with the findings from the staff report supporting approval of the special exceptions. So that completes my presentation. I will answer questions if you have them. Obviously, Mr. Urbeck is here as well if you have questions about our project, and we request approval of the special exceptions.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Urbeck, anything you'd like to add?
No, it's just, we had a plan last year that I thought was good, and we were moving forward on it. We got the approvals from the city for the project, and then we ran into, I guess, 25 feet of bad dirt. That just, the engineers are still working on it, and this will be a placeholder for until we figure out the best way to do it. The expenses were astronomical for the retaining wall and doing it all. So.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to planning department. Mr. Munzel, what would you like me to know about this application?
Well, Mr. Walker did an excellent summary of the requests and the context and all that. So I don't know if I really have much to add, other than just we found that the proposal was, compatible, and it seemed to meet the parameters of the special exception requirements. And as I noted in our findings, that the proposal would not have a negative impact on the character of the area. So we recommended approval of the request.
All right, and as I said, I will give the applicant the last word. Anything else you'd like me to know as we wrap up?
No, I think we were pretty thorough in it. We feel like this is a compatible use for the area. Mr. Urbeck's been a business owner here for many years and is invested in the Cuff area. And so we look forward to making this investment and hope that we gain your support for this request.
Okay. All right. So now that, well, let me start with this. Thank you, everybody, for your testimony this afternoon. I really appreciate everybody's attention to this. I do intend to approve the application, but I do have to formalize that in writing. So just keep that in your back pocket, so to speak, and expect a formal written decision that would show that the application was approved. Okay.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks.
As well.